So you have now started a podcast, but you don't have a pre-recorded intro. When you're listening to a podcast, you hear that right at the beginning with some catchy music, and it draws you right into the episode and makes you want to hear more. Well, you're going to have to do that if you're starting yourself a podcast. Don't worry, I'm going to go over 3 things that make a great pre-recorded intro in this next video. So the first step in creating a great pre-recorded intro for your podcast is research. Go online, find your favorite podcasts, find different podcasts to do with the topic that you are going to be talking about. And all you need to do is listen to how they have formatted their intro. So if you are doing a marketing podcast, what I would do is I would go and Google top marketing podcasts and listen to how those top 3 are doing their intros and put your own twist on that. Just figure out what they're saying, how they're doing it, how they're hooking you in, and come up with your creation for your very own podcast. Obviously, don't copy anyone, but just listen to how they're doing it and come up with a great structure for yourself, just so you know what's out there and how other people are doing it, because they're very successful at this. So we can learn from those people. So that is the first step in creating a great pre-recorded intro. Okay, the next step is writing a pre-recorded intro. I honestly would not make this any longer than 30 seconds. You can make it a little bit longer. If you have to make it to a minute, I would say cut it at a minute, but 30 seconds, I think, and this is my own personal opinion, is the key, because you should be able to hook people in 30 seconds to why they should be listening to your podcast and why they should listen any further to this next episode. So you really want to make sure that you hook people into listening to your podcast in 30 seconds. Seems tough, but I know you can do it. Then the next step is figuring out who is going to record your pre-recorded intro. Who is going to voice it? There are 2 different ways you can do this. You can, as the host, can do the pre-recorded intro, which I really do like that option, because you as the host is going to make the intro more personable, and you're going to be able to tell people from your own words why they should be listening to your podcast. And they're going to be able to get your vibe and figure out who you are in those 30 seconds and why they should listen. So another option for the recording of your pre-recorded intro is getting someone you know to voice this. I'm lucky that I have a lot of professional broadcasting friends, so I was able to get one of them to voice my podcast intro for Coping-19, which is a podcast about entrepreneurs and how they're dealing with the pandemic and positively pivoting their businesses during this time. And so I got my friend to pre-record the intro. So if you want a professional voice like that, they're actually not that expensive. You can also go onto sites like Fiverr and Upwork, and I saw people doing voiceovers for about like 13 Canadian. So keep in mind, this is going to be a one-time cost, because they're going to do your intro and outro for you. And then you don't need to get them to record it all the time, unless you change something, like say you change the different format of your podcast down the road, or if you're going to do something different, if you have different seasons to do with your podcast, but you can basically cross that bridge when it comes to it. But it's a great way to get a crisp, professional sounding voice on your podcast and make you sound like a pro as well. So highly recommend that option as well. You got your pre-recorded intro. Of course, there's different things that you need for an outro, and we'll cover that in another video. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the button below, and then all you have to do is hit the bell for the notification, and we're done and out. See you again.